Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live Financial Fitness Friday. And two things I want to cover today. One, having too much cash. Yes, that is a bad thing. I'm going to go over that with you guys. And then two, controlling your internal thermostat, which is a much, much, much bigger deal. And I think this is something that I have done subconsciously. And then I've heard other people speak about it on stage. And then I realized I do it. And it's a great hack, and it really does help, and it really does work. So first off, with how the economy has been, I don't think a lot of people would have excess cash right now or a lot of cash on hand. But I want to explain what that looks like so you guys can avoid it and do the right thing that's going to set you guys up for a very long time. So what I consider having too much cash would be anything past having 6 months of your expenses. Okay. If you run a business, 6 months of business expenses, 6 months of your home personal expenses. So if I know my business costs $30,000 a month to operate, okay, yes, I do want 180,000, on hand. Why? Because I have 6 months of wiggle room. Does it always work out that way? Absolutely not. Okay. If it costs me $10,000 a month to run my home, that's mortgage, food, insurance, everything that my family needs. I want to have at least 6 months. Okay, so have 60,000 on hand. Now, if I'm the same person that has that business and the same person that is running that household, guess what? I need the 60 plus the 180, so I need 240,000 at all times. Okay, this is ideal. I understand it's not always realistic for everybody, but this is an ideal place where you can operate freely and not have to worry too much about everything else that you'd normally stress out. Now, why did I mention 6 months? Well, 6 months is usually a good run time. Okay. And what happens after you get that 6 months built up? Okay. I have always, after I have that 6 months built up, always look for investments. Now, that could be going into the stock market. It could be going into digital assets. Guess what? It could be going back into my company. All right. But I'm finding ways to invest that money. And all I ever want to keep on hand is 6 months. Now, if I want some larger investments, I might put some of that money into a money market account right before I invest it. So if I know I need for a certain investment $100,000, I will keep putting money and funds away in that money market until it's there, and then I will pull it and then go invest it. Okay, Dave, does all this, everything I went over make sense?
Yeah, man, 100%. And I think to add to that people, that the average person doesn't realize, and I'm sure a lot of business people too, you can't save your way out of that. You really can't, just by putting shoebox money away and so forth. That $100 in 6 months isn't going to be worth $100.
No. And guys, I'm not telling you save your way to wealth. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have sufficient backups where you don't have to worry. And listen, if you can't get 6, right, it is tough. It's been crazy. Andy, I hear you, brother. Like I see your comment. I hear you. It has been a little nuts. So guess what? If you can't get 6, start at 3. Get to 3, right? And then reward yourself with an investment or something. Seriously, reward yourself with an investment or something that you've wanted. And here's the other thing, guys. I tend to reward myself with investments, okay, that kick off more cash flow. Very rarely will I actually buy something that I am like head over heels over. And usually when I do, I keep it for a very long time, okay? A couple other things to note on this, right? When you guys are doing this, the reason why I'm telling you to do this is if you have too much on hand, okay, or if you've had a big winning streak, it is normal to kind of ease off the gas. That is human nature, okay? And that's where the internal thermostat comes in, okay? By me always, anything over that allotment of, let's say, 3 months or 6 months of savings, I always invest it and invest it right away. Why? Because if I don't see it, I don't have it. And if I don't have it, I can't spend it. Does that make sense to you guys? Put it in places where it's inconvenient to get to. Okay. It's inconvenient if I peel off a little bit of money every week and put it into the stock market. Okay. Why? Because then I have to call my advisor, or I have to log into E-Trade. I gotta sell, I gotta move the money. I gotta sell shares. I don't want to do that. It's inconvenient. All right. You can have this forced savings, forced investment. And as long as you're disciplined and you don't touch it, you will be just fine. And it will build up over time. Okay. The other thing is like that internal thermostat. So many of us, I've seen so many sales guys come in and work for me, absolutely crushing. Okay. I've had one guy make $60,000 in a month. No bullshit. It was my highest payout ever. And guess what? The next 2 months, he did nothing. Why? Because he went so far above his internal thermostat. Okay. So far above it that he felt like he won the game. And he just didn't show up the next 2 months. He stopped doing those little things that he was doing meticulously, day in and day out, to earn that money. He stopped doing them because he felt like he arrived. He made it, and it was just going to be easy street. Okay. This is that other part of this, guys. And you need both of these things. And these are independent of each other, but they work very, very well together. All right.
Sounds like you lost some momentum there. And that happens a lot. You get a taste, you get good, you're not scared, you lay off the gas. Now you're set back. Now you're getting past. Now you got to start to rebuild that momentum and get that wheel going again. Sometimes it's harder, man.
It is.
You ever notice, and I say this to people all the time, 75 hard is harder to do down the road after you've experienced it already. Because you know what to expect.
Yeah, I think it's the same, but that's just me.
I like to add more harder shit. That's what it does. It's like, okay, I've done this. How can I level it up more? Because it's like, oh, okay, well, instead of doing this with intent, you don't want to, let's go through it with emotions, right? Oh, I got to read 10 pages. Done. Oh, I got to drink a gallon of water. Done. Second workout, same one. No, let's switch it up. Put in some more effort and intensity. You'll gain more value out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, like this internal thermostat, I don't want to come too far off of this, but Dave, you're right. Like it's how hard you can push yourself and keep pushing yourself. So when you have your internal thermostat, let's say you're used to making $120,000 a year. You want to make $250,000. The average person, once he starts getting above, let's say, I wouldn't say 150, right? 150, you had a great year, you're doing really well. 180, that's probably when some people are going to get out of their comfort zone. Okay. And I'm telling you guys this from experience. Okay. You will get there. If you're not there already, and if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where it is natural to ease off the gas. When you feel that way, that is the time that you need to fucking double and triple and quadruple down on being meticulous, okay? On pushing yourself forward from a personal level, spiritual level, financial level. It is the time to absolutely hop on and jump on the gas. And a lot of people struggle with that. I have struggled with that in the past. I am speaking from personal experience. All right. Dave, what else you got?
You look at some of the richest people in the world, look at Elon, that guy, he talks about it all the time. He's like, I don't really have much cash. Now, what does that mean exactly? I'm sure compared to his net worth, right? What could that be on hand? Who knows? It's probably less than 0.5%, even
cash is worthless. I mean, it's great in emergencies, but other than that, it loses value every day.
Yeah. And look at DT, right? Like look at President-elect when he got slammed with that fine. He quickly scrambled for $500,000. So what does that tell you? He didn't have that on hand. He's worth what, like 4 billion, 5 billion, something like that. Yeah. So what does that mean? Exactly what Jonathan's talking about. Saving and then investing more, putting it into growth strategies, things that are going to pay you back, things that have tangible value.
Yeah. And here's a cool thing, guys. I understand the last couple of years have been absolute trash. I understand it's been hard. I understand it's been difficult. It's been difficult for me. It's been difficult for everybody. Okay. we're pushing through, all of us, because that's what we do, right? And on the flip side of this, guys, on the flip side, I think we're going to have 4 years where, as long as we can make it between now and inauguration, that's a big if, but as long as we can, we're going to have 4 years where we can really rebuild the way we want to, the way we need to. We'll have a much easier time business-wise, right? And so it's very important when things aren't going well that against all odds, you just keep moving forward, right? And as long as you continue that forward momentum, when you get in times where it should be a little bit easier, okay, a little bit smoother, you're so used to all that drag that now you just fucking sprint, all right? And that's what we're coming into. So if it has been rough for you guys, if it has been challenging for you guys, guess what? It's about to flip, okay? So all the skills that you learned the last 4 years, okay, all the struggle from the last 4 years, now is when you can, kind of reap. You've been planting. Whether you know it or not, you have been planting the last 4 years, and now it's time to harvest.
Yeah.
Okay? So I hope this helped. If there's anything that might have not been clear, reach out. All right, Dave, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, Frank, exactly. Now get shit done. Love it, bro. I fucking love it. All right. You know what's crazy, man? He's an Arte, and he's over here. I know he is over here in Florida somewhere. I still have not. He's got to come by the office.
Y'all gotta link up, man. Gotta
yeah.
Nice
Part of me. I never. Something always happens on the local meetups every fucking time where I just can't make it.
Like that triangle in Tampa Bay right there, man.
Nah, my kid's game got changed. I'm not gonna miss that. I'm the coach, so
of course.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you tuning in, Frank. Reach out, bro, and Dave. Thank you, brother. Take care.
Be great, y'all.